Hello everyone and welcome back to another album review, and in this video I'm going to review Nightmares of the Decomposed by 6 Feet Under. I cannot believe that Metal Blade Records had the audacity to release this abomination of an album the exact same day with the release of the brand new album from Anal Nathrak, Endarkenment. And yeah, spoiler alert I guess, but I find this new album from 6 Feet Under to be an abomination. What a surprise! I mean, I'm pretty sure that anyone who clicked on this video did not expect me to praise 6 Feet Under, right? I might have some hot takes here and there, but this is certainly not one of them. 6 Feet Under is possibly the worst thing to happen in metal, and I cannot believe that there are still people and this label over here that listen to this work and they think that it's okay to publish this thing. This is really embarrassing, and this new album from 6 Feet Under is not an exception. It is the epitome of embarrassment. Now, this band is mostly known for their cover works, which are considered to be the worst metal cover albums out there and the most unnecessary ones, and I can definitely say that. Other than that though, they also have original works that are more passable. However, even those more original works, in terms of sound and instrumentation, it makes for some of the most unoriginal stuff ever. From the whole structure of the songs, to the pacing, to the whole instrumentation and their performances, this album offers the most safe, the most basic and standard, and the most predictable stuff you can find in death metal. Musically, there is nothing special about this album whatsoever. From the guitar riffs, to the drumming, to the overall mixing and production, it's pretty much such an average and such a forgettable album. Like, musically, Nightmares of the Decomposed would make for a standard and basic death metal formula that no one would care for. It would be just a forgettable experience. But then the vocals from Chris Barnes come into the mix and they basically pretty much ruin the entire thing. Which is a rare occasion for me to say that a particular element, like the vocals for example, would just be so excruciating to the point where they're pretty much going to ruin the entire experience. This is a rare occasion, but I think 6 Feet Under is one of those occasions. The legendary days where Chris Barnes was the first vocalist of Cannibal Corpse are long gone. At this point, his voice is so off-putting, so out of place, so just bizarre, that basically makes Chris Barnes now the worst vocalist in death metal, if not in metal in general. Like, he cannot sing or scream anymore. It feels like every single vocal cord he had is absolutely destroyed over now. So this actually makes for the most unique characteristic in 6 Feet Under. Like, I cannot make those vocals. In that sense, it's actually impressive what overdose on marijuana can do to your voice. But yeah, basically Chris Barnes' vocals are unique for all the wrong reasons. And the shocking thing is that somehow they get worse and worse. Like, after a point you would not expect that it would become even worse, but it does. For me, Nightmares of the Decomposed has possibly the worst vocal deliveries from Chris Barnes. His voice sounds worse than ever. Like, if you think that his vocals in the last Graveyard Classics were bad, I think that they're even worse in Nightmares of the Decomposed, and that's really shocking and kind of impressive. So this makes it for possibly the worst original work we've heard from 6 Feet Under. Like, I haven't heard that many original works from them, but I highly doubt that they have other albums that have as excruciating vocals as this. And like I said, instrumentally, this album is not that bad. Take the track Amputator for example. I think when the track starts, I actually kind of like this instrumental. It was a bit intense, and it honestly made me slightly excited to listen to this. But then the vocals from Chris Barnes come and they basically ruin the whole thing. But still, with that being said, I still find that instrumentally, Amputator, which is the first single out of this album and it's the first track, makes for possibly the best moment instrumentally and the most passable one. But then we immediately get into the next teaser track, which is Zodiac. And this, in my opinion, takes the cake for being by far the worst track out of this whole project. Like, Zodiac is beyond bad, it's garbage, it's laughable, it's just such an embarrassing work. From the really weak mixing of the guitars that has such a bad riff to it, it's so basic, it's so standard. Then you have the vocals from Chris Barnes sounding worse than ever. You also have those really unnecessary and pretentious drum fills all over the place. And towards the end of the song we have a guitar solo coming out of nowhere, and it's such an awful guitar solo. Like, there is no rhyme or reason to it. It feels so disconnected, and the whole final part is just a chaotic mess that makes no sense. We have moments like this in numerous songs in this album. Yes, we have moments where out of nowhere you're going to have those guitar solos that it's definitely the most unnecessary, the most sort of pretentious and the worst aspect in the music of this album. And other than that, there's really nothing else worth commenting about this whole project. It's so one-dimensional in every single aspect. It's pretty much the exact same thing going on over and over and over. Like, nothing else has the intensity of Amputator, and nothing else is as excruciating as Zodiac. The rest of the track listing just stays in this middle ground, with really safe and standard pacing, some really average instrumentation, weak mixing and production, and overall some lifeless choruses. The one thing that caught my attention in this album had to do with the vocals from Chris Barnes, as you have those very weird squeals, those wee 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 wee. I can't even do them. The thing is that they make for the worst squeals I've heard in an album. Like, I don't really know if I have to laugh or cringe with this thing. After a while it just becomes cringy because there's a lot of those weird squeals in this album. And so yeah, this is another album where we see Chris Barnes going even more downhill with his vocal delivery, and honestly making this one of the most embarrassing works to ever come out in the 6 Feet Under catalog, and that says a lot in my opinion. There is nothing else worth noting about this album whatsoever. This is a god-awful project. Just listen to it if you want a laugh, but yeah, other than that, this is abysmal. I'm going to give Nightmares of the Decomposed, what an awful title by the way, a 2+ out of 10. What's your opinion on this album? Like it? Dislike it? Why? And what do you want me to review next time? Let me know down in the comments. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video, subscribe for more content like this. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video. Goodbye.